Singing a cappella Keith Green's Easter song. Hear the bells ringing, they're singing that you can be born again. Hear the bells ringing, they're singing, Christ is risen from the dead. The angels up on the tombstone said, Jesus Christ is no longer dead. Quickly now, go see the disciples and tell them now that Jesus is not dead. Joy to the world, he has risen. Hallelujah, he's risen. Hallelujah, he's arisen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I had to make up some of those words because I've had a block with words and lyrics for years. Karaoke came around and made it easy for me. I am a very accomplished singer. My father was a singer. But because of war and stress and all kinds of other things, my talent in that area gets mixed up. I can sing with somebody behind them and harmonize with them, but I've had these problems. Then I try to write something and I can't remember how to spell things, and then all of a sudden I give up. Anybody out there that's ever had to go through any of the above? But he is risen. Today is Friday, the morning of called Good Friday, and going through the Stations of the Cross and everything that he went through. Because remember, Palm Sunday was the week before. And everybody's going through all these religious steps. I understand one thing, and one thing that I really know. He who was of no sin, who was Jesus, he who knew no sin, became a sinner for those of us, so that we could become the righteousness of God. This was a divine thing that took place as he stepped into humanity. So I just decided that I'm just going to talk right now a little bit about not only are we being into a season, but I've been through an awful lot over the last 50 years since I got born again because of a bomb that went off at LaGuardia Airport. And my first wife was nearly killed on December 29th, 1975. It is now April 3rd, 2026. And I get calls from Kenya and all over the place because I'm on YouTube and I have close to 5,000 followers. And these are young pastors that want help. They want money. And out of nowhere, they just call me, disturbing my life. I've been going through an awful lot of struggles. They diagnosed me apparently being bipolar. That means it's a form of depression. I'm very outgoing and very, I've been in lots of different situations over the years, working hard, having 3 children, having now 5 grandchildren, being rejected after COVID-19 in 2020, a son that won't even talk to me. I haven't even seen him in 6 years. He took his daughters away from me, my granddaughters, I haven't seen for 6 years. I only live 45 minutes away from here. They loved their grandpa, but he just disappeared. And I haven't seen a picture of either one of them since they were 9 and 10. Now they're 15 and 16. You know how quickly little girls grow up? Now I have a 9.5, almost 10-year-old granddaughter who, because she kept saying to her father, I've got another grandpa, because her grandfather on her father's side passed away about a year ago. And because of Kate, I got to see my youngest granddaughter, who will turn 4 on August 29th. I got to see her for the first time. She didn't even know who I was. My daughter took my granddaughters away from me because of political differences and other reasons, and isolated me and doesn't return calls. And she goes through a divorce and now has a new lover who moves in with her. And I have had to go through wondering whether or not anybody would even find out if I did die. Would they come to my funeral? Anybody been through anything like that? And then I have a son who lives in Sarasota, and the only grandson, and I've never seen him. He turned 2, I think, this April, and no return phone calls from his wife, her mother, her father, my son. I mean, what is this all about? Where are we living? What planet? And then we have what's going on with Trump. Whoa, the Trump haters are really insane, but this man's going to take care of what Reagan started, and they're going to take over what's going on there. We're going to see freedom in Iran. Things are going to rapidly turn around. We are demonstrating the power of the American military is the far superior, most powerful military in the world, now working with Israel. And we're demonstrating this, and Cuba is starting to shake a little bit. You know, I've been watching this for years because my father trained me in politics. I'm talking in a hiccuping. All the way going back to Richard Nixon, going back to the man that ran against Lyndon Johnson, Barry Goldwater, the conscience of a conservative, going all the way back to Dwight Eisenhower. I didn't remember Harry Truman, and of course not Roosevelt, but I was just bombarded about the Constitution, about understanding the freedom that we have in this country. And we've gone through cultural change after change after change, and I'm now 77 and 4 months old. And I'll be 78 on December 30th, 1940, on December 30th, 2026. And I'm still alive. And I'm still trying to move forward, and I want to stay alive for my granddaughters so that they one day realize whatever happened to our grandfather. Not that I want to blame anybody for anything other than the fact that there's such a cultural divide that my children have been so influenced that they lean closer to communism and socialism than the American dream. Now, is anybody going through anything like that? And so we will be singing. Hear the bells ringing, they're singing that you can be born again this Easter. Hear the bells ringing. This is a Keith Green song. Google it. Listen to it. Get ready, get ready, get ready for a change that's coming to this nation and to families. Healings, resurrections from the dead, ears opening, eyes opening to what's going to happen next. We have a whole new generation. We're doing this for our children and our grandchildren to have freedom. In the Bible, it says, for freedom Christ has set you free. Therefore, do not submit again to a yoke of slavery. This is Logan Rogers, the author of Rungle in the Jungle, 941-408-4898. You can order my book, Rungle in the Jungle, on Amazon. Find it. Buy some copies. I'll get $2.50 for every copy. And rarely, sometimes, does Amazon pay, close attention. I don't know where my money is supposed to be going. But anyhow, that's the way to promote your book. And I have more books coming out. And I'm going to make it. I'm going to continue to go forward. And I encourage everybody that's watching this or listening to this to do the same. So happy trails to you Until we meet again, bye-bye. How did I turn this off?